Wherapy. Therapy wherever, whenever.
Hello there, my name is Philip Anderson. I'm a therapist and the founder of Wherapy, therapy whenever, wherever. Today, I thought I'd share with you the importance of making sacrifices. According to psychodynamic therapy, we have three types of inner conflict. One is where we have two motivating factors that are competing with each other. That could be one, I want to move here, or I want this career, and two, I want to stay with my family. There's two motivating factors that are competing with each other in some cases. You might not be able to stay with your family if you want to move to another place, for example. And the second being a motivating factor contra reality. So I want to be a basketball player, but I'm not good enough and I'm very short. I'm only 5'10" or 5'7". I don't know what a basketball player needs to be, but they need to be pretty tall. So a motivating factor contra reality. There's an inner conflict there. You're never going to be a basketball player if you're not good enough and if you're not tall enough as well. Yeah. And then the third one is a motivating factor against social norms. Yeah. So in some places, for example, it's forbidden to be gay or think a certain way or to have a certain lifestyle. Yeah. So in some countries, well, I feel homosexual, or I feel transgender, or I feel like I'm meant to be this way. I live in a country that doesn't accept that maybe has laws that prohibits that. That creates an inner conflict as well. So we have the three different types of inner conflict. And I want to just tell you how a little bit of my life, an example from my life. I was raised in Hong Kong since I was about 3 years old. And then I moved when I was 18, and then I was in England for a little while. And then when I was about 21, I moved to Japan, Kobe in Japan, and I lived there until I was maybe 26. And at that point, my father passed away. There was a lot of things happening. I also knew that I couldn't really sustain my life there. I was trying to be an entrepreneur. I was working in working with a website that sold Swedish products. Yeah. And that wouldn't be able to sustain my lifestyle. I didn't really want to live in Japan if I was being an English teacher or something like that. That's something that wasn't really my calling. So I didn't really feel like I could fulfill myself, yeah, if I was living in Japan, achieve self-fulfillment. And on the other hand, I had at the time somebody I cared a lot about. I had a lot of friends that I obviously cared a lot about and I wanted to be with. I also just loved Japan. I love the culture. I love the food. I love the city that I lived in at the time, Kobe. It's a great place, and it really felt like home. But I felt like I can sustain my life there. I can fulfill what I wanted to fulfill, and I had a motivating factor to become a counselor, a therapist, ultimately a therapist. Yeah. I also felt an urge to achieve this. Yeah. So, and I also was kind of met with the fact that I actually couldn't sustain a good life in Japan. Yeah. I didn't really want to live there as well. From visa to visa, thinking that okay, well, I'll renew next time. I'll get a new pair of a new sofa set the next time I renew my visa, because then I know I'll stay there for a couple of years. Yeah, it was a very frustrating process. So I was faced with the fact of continuing that lifestyle, even though it was something that I liked. It was a motivating factor to be with the person I loved at the time, to also be with my friends, to also be in Kobe, and do all the great things there, because I felt like it was my home. And on the other hand, I had the motivating factor of self-fulfillment, of also maybe settling down, of also being able to have my own place and not worry about the visa expiring and stuff like that. And these were obviously competing with each other, these two motivating factors. And instead of living in a compromise, because that's when the inner conflict kind of gets worse, when you compromise and neither of these motivating factors are fulfilled at all. I decided to sacrifice Japan, well, I continued trying to do a long distance relationship with this person, but it didn't work out. I also sacrificed a lot of contacts. Obviously we keep in contact, but not in the same way as we used to. Sacrificed being in Kobe, sacrificed having that unique expat lifestyle for settling down, for stability, for also an opportunity to fulfill myself. So learning how to sacrifice made it more possible for me to fulfill or to achieve one of these two motivating factors. But it's also been a very difficult process. I've also had to learn how to live with the fact that I'm not going to achieve the other one. I'm kind of mourning the fact that I'm not going to achieve the other one. I'm not going to be in Japan. I'm not going to have this lifestyle. If I want a family, if I want to settle down, then I'm not going to be jumping from one place to the other in this type of way. I'm not going to be going to Japan for a couple of months and I'm not going to come back here. So learning how to sacrifice is the key step in resolving inner conflict. And if you have an inner conflict based on any of these three types that I mentioned earlier in the video, then try to see which one you can sacrifice. Well, obviously if you're very short and if you're not good at basketball and that's what you want to be, you want to be a professional basketball player, then learning how to sacrifice that dream, for example, and mourning that dream for a while and being able to live with the difficulty of mourning that dream will put you in a position where you will have less inner conflict in the future. So please give that a go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing, because we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers and that would mean a lot to me. And also we have our Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts. Go over there and like us there. And if you need a therapy session, an online therapy session, consider booking one with me. Just go over to Wherapy.com. My sessions are $70 for a 15-minute session. And we also have Wherapy Plus, which is a subscription software or subscription service offering online mental health courses, guided meditations, self-help software, journaling software and the like, and also live seminars and free group therapy sessions, all for $14 a month. And $1 goes to charities. So go over to Wherapy.com/Wherapy Plus to check that out. Thank you very much and have a great day.